Alrighty, welcome to the Analyzing Archivist, the show where we'll dive into horror media, we'll analyze it, we'll break it down, uh, do all that sort of fun stuff with it. The first series, which I decided I'm going to cover, is a little podcast may or may not have heard of, called the Magnus Archives. The Magnus Archive, you ever heard of it? Well, if you haven't, it's a podcast created by Jonathan Sims and produced by the Rusty Quill. It ran from around like 2019 to 2021, and it was a little bit popular, a little bit. I'd say it was a little bit popular. Found anywhere you can usually find podcasts, and that's gonna be the first series that we're gonna break down. We're gonna analyze. We're gonna do all that sorts of fun stuff. So, sort of walk through the story beats. So I recommend, you better go watch. You can't really watch it. It's a podcast. But you better go listen to it. You listen to it. Either listen to all 200 episodes and then come back to this, or you could listen to one episode then come right back here. But you better listen to it. If you haven't listened to it before, or if you want a refresher, we're starting with the first episode. Obviously, that would make sense. But with that out of the way, we're going to be starting with the first episode, that being Anglerfish. Anyways, the first episode starts, as all first episodes do, introducing to us our main protagonist, being Jonathan Sims. Him talking about the Magnus Institute, how he describes it, quote, an organization dedicated to academic research into the esoteric and the paranormal. So what they essentially do, you had a spooky encounter, you saw a box move by something that was spooky, you write down a statement, you tell them what happened, you give it to them, and they file it away and maybe look into it. That's essentially what they do. He explains that after his predecessor, Gertrude Robinson, had died, that he was made head archivist by the head of the institute, one Elias Bouchard. John also explains that he worked at the institute like 3 or 4 years before being made head archivist, so he's a little familiar with what the work's like, and it's a lot of work. Apparently, Gertrude Robinson wasn't the best archivist because everything's unlabeled or disorganized or not properly kept as it should be. So he's got his hands full. He's gonna be a little busy. We learned that the Magnus Institute, that institute, was founded in 1818, and most of the statements that were given, no digital version, no audio version, nothing like that because old. So John, he tries to bring a laptop in, it don't work. He tries to use laptop record because that would be easy. It don't work, but he finds a tape recorder, so that all works out. He has three research assistants. I'm counting in between the fingers. Tim Stoker, Sasha James, and Martin Blackwood to help him, research, analyze the statements. Although he doesn't really like Martin. He thinks he's more of an annoyance rather than anything, so. And then John begins with the first statement, case number 01222204, a statement of Nathan Watts regarding an encounter on Old Fish Market Close in Edinburgh. So, Nathan Watts, he's a biochemistry student at Edinburgh University. He's celebrating his friend's Michael Macleod's acceptance into a master's program, and they go down to a pub called the Almanac on the Royal Mile. Sometime Nathan left because we drink a little too much, a little too much to drink. He decides to walk down the Old Fish Market Close to go home. About halfway down the street, he falls because like steep hills, something like that. He falls. He has a little bit of a tumble. Afterwards, though, he gets up from his tumble, feeling not so very good. So he smokes a cigarette, calm himself a little bit. That makes sense. Until he hears a stranger, someone just say, can I have a cigarette? Bro, fuck that. Some creepy dude in an alleyway? Yeah, no, Nathan, turns around to see this, guy who might be a little bit intoxicated, just standing in an alleyway. There's a little staircase that goes up to it. And he's just, can I have a cigarette? So Nathan, not gonna try and anger a person, he just, holds out a cigarette. You want it? You can come take it. I ain't walking any closer to you. That's a creepy alleyway. Nathan, he's a pretty smart dude. All things considered, after the stranger, doesn't get the cigarette, Nathan's just kind of like sitting there for a while, looking at him a little bit. This guy's face is like expressionless. His skin's a little pale, a little sunken, a little deepened. Nathan also notices, he's kind of like swaying back and forth a little. He's probably drunk, is what Nathan assumes. But after that, the guy asks again, "Can I have a cigarette?" And Nathan is suddenly recalled of how an anglerfish lures its prey by like dangling it there. This is when Nathan notices that guy's mouth didn't move when he asked him the question. So he's properly spooked right now. He also notices that he's not touching the ground. His feet are oh so little off the ground. So Nathan grabs his phone to shine his flashlight, and he describes how the figure folds by the waist into the darkness of the alleyway. So after that, Nathan takes a taxi home like a sane individual. The next day, Nathan goes to do a little bit of investigating, and he finds a Marlboro Red cigarette, unsmoked, sitting on the ground, same alleyway. So there's another student who's at the party that John learns about a few days ago named John Philos. He's missing, and in the missing poster form, in his coat pocket there's a pack of Marlboro Red cigarettes, same one he found. So John's dead. So after that, that's where the statement ends. John explains a bit further that some follow-up investigation occurred, and Sasha found out that between the years of 2005 and 2010, 6 people had disappeared in that same area. The names of which being Jessica McEwen, Sarah Baldwin, Daniel Rawlings, Ashley Dobson, Megan Shaw, John Philos. One thing to note is that Ashley Dobson had sent a photo to his sister shortly before her disappearance. The photo of which had a caption that was like, "Check out this drunk creeper, lol." And Sasha enhanced the photo, with some knowledge, um, and cranked up the contrast to find like a hand was reaching out in the photo. So, that's disturbing, and that's where the first episode ends. Yeah, not much to say about this first episode. It's pretty good. Uh, Immediately, it's all a good hook so far. You're introduced to the characters, or the main character, I'll say. The others get introduced a little bit later on. But yeah, the uh, good 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 first episode to a spooky series. It lays down sort of like, okay, there's some spooky stuff happening. We're archiving. This institute takes in the spookies. John, I'd also like to mention, John is very skeptical, not skeptical, he's not superstitious whatsoever. So, like, the next few episodes will come, we'll talk about. He does not believe anything. He believes there's a rational explanation for everything. So, we'll see if he's right. But anyways, that was this first episode. Not much to go off. Not much about. If you would, there's a button that looks like this or this. There's a button looks like thumbs up. There's a button down there that looks like a thumbs up. If you want to click on that, that'd be appreciated. Maybe subscribe, turn notifications on till the next one comes up. I'll try to get these out weekly, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Going on vacation next week. This week. I should probably pack for that. Anyways, That's what that's going on. This has been Analyzing Archivists. Please go down in the description. I have links to the Rusty Quill YouTube and the Magnus Archives playlist. So you know on YouTube you can at least listen to that. Or if you have other places you listen to podcasts or music or whatever, you can probably find it on there. But in the meantime, this has been the Analyzing Archivist. I will catch you on the flippity flip.